their issue. Yeah, that's nice.
We just have to all.
Yeah. Get it.
Information you get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we are live.
Yeah, gotcha.
Where is his budget? Kim, I don't see his budget. That's the fire department. Is this,
All right.
this human services here? This is
Yeah.
human services. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, youth services.
That's
Well
it.
said.
Thank you for helping handicapped.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Summers Board of Selectmen. Today is Thursday, January 8th, 2026 at 6 p.m. We're in Town Hall Auditorium, and the meeting will be live streamed. Please join me with a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So just to roll call, we have Criminal Floor Ops Director on my left. On my right, we have Brian Wissinger, our CFO. On my right, we also have Selectman Meyer and Selectman Schmidt on my left. We have Todd Rowland, Director of Public Works and Land Use. Matt Cox, Director of Human Services. Keith Allard, Deputy Fire Chief. Ray Stovall, Deputy Chief. And Fire Marshal Jeremy Simmons. You're a medic, right? That's, a senior medic, or close to it, yeah. Dave McCaffrey, Director of Veterans Affairs. Gary and Deb Pryor as well. And I think that's pretty much it. Great. Public comment, I don't believe we have any of that this evening. A presentation by First Selectman. Just a couple of things I'd like to mention. Number one is the job posting. The fire chief terminates end of business tomorrow. We have two applications have come in, Ray Stovall and Scott Fine, yeah. And let's see. I'd like to just mention that I think we're going to need a review board. And I'd like the following people to be on to serve on it. It would be Todd Rowland, Brian Wissinger, Bill Meyer, Keith Allard, and Kim Liddick. So it's 5 people. And I'd like them to meet sometime either this coming week or the following week, as soon as they can get their act together and schedule a meeting. Shouldn't be a difficult process. 2, maybe 3 applicants. We have 2 so far. Let's see what else. Well, I also want to mention that the 250th celebration, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which of course the nation is celebrating this next year, and every town in Connecticut is as well. I went to their meeting last night, chaired by Dave Pinney, and I've been to several of their meetings already this year. Of course, they meet right in the selectman's office, so it's kind of hard to ignore the meeting when they show up. It's kind of hard to walk out to at the same time. However, they're making good progress, and first of all, I can report that Dave Pinney is going to report to the Board of Finance at their next meeting in January. What's the date? Fourth Tuesday or something?
It's Tuesday, January 27th.
27th, okay. And they've asked, at their last meeting, they just asked for an update and an overview of what's being planned and what the events might look like. And just wanted to get, and Mike Marinaccio is going to help them with that. Mike's on the ad hoc committee himself, so he'll help them out. And I can also mention that they have made a lot of progress with regards to entertainment that they want to bring in. They've actually got a schedule they put together. Fundraising, they're making additional significant efforts in that right now. In fact, I've got a meeting set up this coming week with USA Hauling. Myself and Dave Penny are going to meet with them along with Brian. And they also they've got a pretty good idea of what their needs are going to be with regards to a website and Facebook presentations. And Kim's going to give them a hand with that. And they were talking about, for regards to the fundraisers, 2 different mailers that they're anticipating, which should be very helpful. It was suggested to me today, in fact, that we might want to consider using Summers Connect and adding on to some information there that we could use instead of a mailer, actually.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but just something to think about.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay, that covers that. Okay, that's it for me. Under the consent agenda, boards and commissions, appointments and resignations, we have under America 250 Ad Hoc Planning Committee, we have the resignation of Donna Hanks due to the fact that she broke her ankle in a couple places and just doesn't feel that she can up and running, so to speak. I'm not sure it's ever going to be long, but we have to accept her resignation. Then we have an appointment of Christine Mazzarella, who has been to several meetings already. I've met her a couple times. We want to appoint her in place of Donna leaving. And I think Christine has done a lot of research for the committee and is very active in the meetings. And that should be a very positive addition. So we need a couple of motions there, right? One to accept the resignation, Donna Hanks, and the other is to appoint Christine.
I'm happy to make a motion to accept the resignation of Donna Hanks, the Ad Hoc America 250 Planning Committee, and to appoint Christine, how do you pronounce her name?
Mazzarella.
To the Ad Hoc America 250 Planning Committee.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Veterans Memorial Park Ad Hoc Committee, resignation of Stephen Marquis. And the appointment of Gary Pryor of Summers to
I'd be
take
happy
his
to make
place.
that motion.
Great. Go ahead.
Okay, to accept the resignation of Stephen Marquis from the Summers Veterans Memorial Park and Healing Garden Ad Hoc Committee, and to appoint Gary Pryor to the Summers Veteran Memorial Park and Healing Garden Ad Hoc Committee.
I'll second that.
Great. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So then we have Zoning Board of Appeals, appointment of Tara Moody as a full-time member of the Zoning Board of Appeals, filling the vacancy of Dean Hills with term expiring 12/22/29. So we need a motion on that.
I have to make a motion to approve the appointment of Tara Moody as a full-time member of the Zoning Board of Appeals, filling the vacancy of Dean Hills with a term expiring on 12/22/29.
Second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. And we have a few other reappointments that we just missed previously. Reappointing Doug Stebbins to the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring 12/22/29. And reappointing B.J. Farrow to the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring 12/22/26. And the reappointment of Lise Wood to the Conservation Commission with a term expiring 12/22/26.
Can we go do all three at the same time?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay. Do we have to have a motion?
We do.
Okay, I have to make a motion to reappoint Doug Stebbins to the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring 12/22/29. Reappoint B.J. Farrow to the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring on 12/22/26. Reappointment of Lisa Wood to the Conservation Commission with a term expiring of 12/22/26.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Opportunity to add urgent agenda items. Having those.
I have none.
Finance, transfers and appropriations, none. CFO's finance report and update.
Been very quiet, but now that the audit is complete, we are in full budget mode. We did get all of the annual reports uploaded to the state of Connecticut this week as well. So those are all completed, and we have submitted the financial statements to the GFOA for review for the annual award, financial statement award. I forget exactly what they call it, but that has all been taken care of. So now we're 100% in budget mode. And,
Yeah, these are the things you gave us, correct?
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Presentation of scheduled payments.
Yeah, we got that over here. Right here. Yeah, we got the payment schedule here from Brian. I'd happy to make the motion to approve to authorize the payments in the amount of $368,098.30.
Second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Sorry. Updates from boards and commissions, we have none. Pending business, we have none. New business, discussion and possible action regarding an MOA between the town of Summers and the Summers firefighters, local 4282 IAFF. Is somebody going to mention this? Somebody going to present this?
Did you not send an email?
He gave us a letter.
He did.
We have a letter,
Sure.
which I think does explain it. We have worked with,
Do you have a copy of the rate?
Do you want it? I was thinking
we have worked with Attorney McHale on this, and he's been involved from the beginning.
Oh, that, yeah.
We've worked out what I believe to be a very fair resolution,
This is what.
and
Okay.
basically it has to do with being able to take advantage of some prior part-time work
Correct. Yep.
that was added on to major full-time. Period.
Yep. So Jeremy's been the longest-serving full-time member of the department on the paid staff side. He kind of fell into a gray area with his part-time service not counting when we moved the part-timers into the union contract. So this would ratify that. This would only affect him and no other employees.
But also, wasn't there a bit of a compromise with regards to what was accounted for and what?
There was, yep. So they came up with a good compromise, and he's seeking no back pay. This is just going from now forward.
So this is just for paramedic Simmons?
Correct.
We have to approve this action then?
Yes.
And I reviewed it. I mean, it's not something that the board's required to do, but I think it's something that the board should do just to recognize that I think he kind of did fall, it was kind of not thought about by either side. I think when the consolidation happened, I mean, he has the service. If he converted now, he would have gotten credit for it. So I think this, it makes sense and I support it. So.
Very good.
And thank you for your many years. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it had been that long.
I found my first paycheck from 2004, $9.50.
Keep the records, all right.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
So I'd make a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement as presented.
Second?
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Franny.
Budget presentation from Director Cox, Human Services.
Good evening.
So I believe you have the proposed budget for the coming year in your packet. It basically supports the social services, human services function. So that includes a small portion of our youth services coordinator. The increase over the prior year is 1.43%. So there are no significant increases. It basically covers administration of all programs, as well as 100% of the social services coordinator. Like I said, tiny portion of Gen Grid, so youth services.
So what was the budget last year was 162?
Yes.
750?
Last year was 160.
164.
454.
Yeah.
Oh, which one? Where here?
This is 2000 FY 26 adopted.
I don't know.
27 is the one that
Sorry,
we're,
it's the second
Oh,
page.
it's on the second page?
You don't have that?
Let's see, I think
Yeah,
I might. No, you don't.
He doesn't have that page?
I gave it to you today.
I gave you mine.
It's in those three I handed you.
The good news is, Director
The third
Cox is, I wish every department came in with such a small fleet.
Well, the other thing we need to keep in mind is this doesn't include any salary increase, because that's something the Board of Selectmen, so I mean, this budget is almost entirely.
I knew you were going to
salary.
tell
So
me
what it, right, and so what it does include is the mid-year increases. So these are all budgeted at the increases that went into effect January 1.
Right.
So that's why you do see some growth, because without it, it would
It
have
would be
been.
flat.
I guess my only question, though, really, the dues and training, why is it going down so much?
In the prior period, you might recall with Access Agency, we had an allocation of $1,500 per year. It hadn't been paid in many years. Our first selectman reinitiated that. Last year, it came out of this budget. I think it's coming out of the first selectman's budget now.
Okay.
That's what was decided, is to not charge that to dues and training.
Okay.
Access.
All right,
Yeah, so
Is that called Access Connecticut? Is that what it is? Or- Yeah.
that makes sense.
they're the ones who help us. They do WIC. They help us with the
Meeting applications. And
yeah,
stuff,
for the utility assistance
They
applications.
do great work.
right? All right.
Yeah.
So I guess
Okay,
my
thank
question.
you. I just didn't have the sheet in my packet.
Yeah.
My questions aren't about this budget really, but just about your oversight. I mean, this doesn't reflect the whole picture for human services,
No.
because I think a lot of the funding is through grants, right? The DFC
Exactly.
grant, the DCF grant that we get,
That's right.
right? And then we have all the funds, the emergency fund and all the other. So, I mean, I guess just maybe we just take a look at that. I mean, even in a future meeting, just,
Yep.
where's the emergency fund at? I know I saw some of it in the annual financial reporting. I
Yep.
read through it. But what year, so in FY 27, which is what we're entering, what year is that for DFC?
This year, it's split because their fiscal year is
They have an October 1
September.
federal.
We
Right,
just started the
exactly.
fourth year, though,
Yep,
right?
so we just started the fourth year this past October 1st. So this is our fourth year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so far, we've been allocated $375,000. I emailed Matthew today. We've spent like $371,900. So we're right up against
The
the
5-year grant, is that what it is?
5-year grant,
Yeah.
and then the option to apply for another 5-year extension.
Are they still doing DFC grants, the federal government?
They are. They've really tightened up the number and the kinds of activities that they're supporting. But we're lucky. There were a number of folks in Connecticut who did not receive funding this year. We're very
And you got it.
And we did. Yeah.
You guys walk on water?
I'm sorry?
You guys walk on water?
No.
Well, we already have a funding commitment for the 5 years, but I guess my point is that there's a renewal and there's discretion there. So, I mean, the federal government would be like a rescission if they put back what was already awarded. But I'm saying that after October 1 of 2027,
Same question.
it would be a new, but I think the point to that is we have a position, a 1.0 funded there.
Yep.
Is there anything else funded there for positions?
I think part of
Small portion of the youth services
a small
coordinators.
portion of youth services comes out of there as well.
Okay.
We moved it out of the general fund into.
Which is fine, but so this
Yeah.
year we don't have to have the conversation, but next year, in the event that grant's not renewed, we're going to be looking at staffing reduction.
Yeah, there's some risk involved.
Yeah,
That's
when,
right.
when do we have to apply for the next round of funding?
Yeah, so the next, that would be a year from August is when that re-up period, when we would look at that. So we have our annual reports are due in May or in March of every year, and then for that final year, it's on that same schedule. And then if you reapply for the next year, it's a little bit of a tighter.
Have you been counseled at all on how that might proceed? I mean, have you talked to some compatriots?
Yeah, so if things were the same as they have been in the past, it's a pretty streamlined process where they look at what you've accomplished, what your community needs are. They look at the data from the youth surveys to see what the trajectory is with substance use. In the current climate, we literally don't know. We're in good standing right now. We have good relationships with our federal officers and with other programs around the state. So I think we're in a good position.
You got a pretty strong record, too, of what you've accomplished.
Yeah, no, we're seen as one of the better. DFCs, across the country. One of the newer ones, but one of the better ones.
But as we know, there are no guarantees with regards to funding.
And there never are. And so although the financial climate right now is a little bit less predictable than it typically is, federal funding is really never predictable. That's the one challenge.
Well, I was stunned today because the 17 Republicans in the House changed their vote and supported the lack of funding in the Affordable Health Care Act. And I couldn't believe that 17 changed and they passed it. So hopefully we're going in that direction.
We don't know.
Yeah, and I'm just, you don't know, but I'm hoping with some of these things that have been funded for, basically, I don't know how many years, continue to be funded adequately.
Right. Well, it's part of our sustainability plan, because that's one of the things you're required to do in by year 4 is to put forth what is your plan to sustain the work if you don't get funding. That doesn't continue. And so one of the things we're trying to do is to build in the activities that we're accomplishing. Right. Infusing that into the way the schools produce information that goes out to parents to make that a normal part of how things happen. So that if there are staffing changes, certainly that's a loss, but some of the activity has already been embedded in other areas.
Continuing effort.
The second round of funding, though, it decreases each year, right? It's not still the full maximum 125. It puts some of the onus back on the town, right?
You maintain the 125, but the match is greater. And so the first year, instead of having 100% match, it would have to have 120. And then it goes from there. So what the intent is by the end of that 10th year of funding, that you actually have the funding internally to keep going. Very few towns, organizations are able to do that. I think that's just a strategic choice on the part of the communities. But there are a number who have sustained it in that way.
But I mean, there are other grants that you can jump to, state grants, or I know other towns have kind of leaped between the grants. There's other funding pots. But no, I think it's been nice work, especially with the teen center, after school and things. I think that's been good work. So.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that really makes our program stand out. Is that after school period of having safe developmental activities available for kids. We see 35 to 50 kids every day when we were seeing 20, 25. The teen room at the library is still very busy.
That's been very busy.
Yeah, so I know Joanne at the library director has been really thrilled with the way it has actually encouraged more high school students to come to the library to do homework after school. And so the whole building is really...
I see we just spent $100,000 on improvements. Is that right? I thought I saw that.
We spent $100,000?
I thought I saw that in the budget.
I think they have to build it.
Well, I have to say that she's done a great job there at the library because, when my kids years ago used to go through there, it was a babysitting service. But she's gone well beyond that. She's got some really good programs. The kids have expressed interest in them, and she's done a super job. I'm glad you're working with her, in that vein. Good job.
Yeah, it's a good relationship. Yeah, it's a good.
All right, I'm all set. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Great
Thanks
job.
very much.
Thank you for all your hard work, and tell all your staff that they do a great job.
I will.
Make sure.
Thank you.
You look pretty good for a guy that just fell on his face yesterday.
It fell on my back. That was the thing.
And thanks for going first, too. Thanks for going first.
Well, I always say to people, at least I don't have far to fall. So I guess if I was 6'3", I'd be a little painful. Better me than Todd.
We won't ask you how long you've had a week back.
Thank you, folks.
You.
So mine should be just about as long as Matthew.
Yeah.
I have more questions about yours, just to get ready.
I get the award for the most line items in town.
Brian actually told me mine was a 78-second presentation. So.
Pretty good. Exactly what I called.
No, it's a pretty.
You also, I like this that you gave us about what are the drivers.
Oh, yeah,
I
the
appreciate
biggest cost drivers.
I appreciate you sending that out because that was really very informative.
After going through it, it's quite a substantial increase year over year. So let's get started. First, I want to send a shout out to Brian and Danny and this board for moving to this ClearGov website that we have now. This is going to, as we go down the years, it's going to make the comparisons a lot easier, and we'll fill in a lot more data versus the old Excel files that we've used in the past, having to go back and forth through them. I really do like this program. It's quite a substantial increase in what we've done in the past. So I'd like to start tonight with land use. The land use budget I've essentially kept pretty flat. There's a little bit of variation in the salaries. That is the really the difference we did with the stipend for my salary for being the director of land use. We moved some of that into the DPW budget, and that's really the difference you see in the top line salaries there, which is the first line item up on the screen. Salaries year over year. We've got actuals from FY 23, 24, 25, the adopted 26, and then the proposed 27, and that 27 budget's down about $14,000 in that salary line item, just because of the stipend movement. The rest of the line items generally in land use are pretty flat. The one I did reduce, professional services, that's kind of a wild card. It really depends on what's going on that time. You can see the trend line there. The last couple of years were around $2,500, $3,000. We adopted a $10,500, which we haven't used since 23. So I kind of split the difference a bit and came in at $5,500.
Does that include consulting services?
Well, there's different consulting services and different line items down here.
Okay.
Wetlands, that's a separate line item down in here. Legal is another line item. The next one down is legal. That also, legal is, it just depends on what's going on. Really depends on.
Yeah.
With the POCD being a big thing right now,
Right.
is that going to be enough to have a consultant?
Well, the
work on
POCD, that portion is done.
We already had a consultant.
That
right.
was done. And if we're going to undertake that, and I don't expect that in the next year, because now with the combined planning and zoning, it's going to take them a little while to kind of get their feet under them and then decide. They do want to start a subcommittee at some point to relook at the POCD. Probably in the next fiscal year, we'll be looking at bumping that up for consulting services. This coming year, I'm really hopeful it's going to be fairly quiet.
That makes sense.
But you never know. These line items, you
Do
just
we
don't
have
know.
detail on land use? I mean, I don't see any.
Yes. Well, you should.
DPW.
So
I
that.
just see the obvious level.
So
of
the portrait ones are the ones, and it might actually be, honestly, it might be in the town hall tab because.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. The portrait ones have the more of the breakdowns, so you can see the itemized.
Yeah, is this it?
I think that was just left over.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Confused.
Well, he put it under town hall.
Oh, it's under town hall?
Yeah, because.
Yeah, I think it's under town hall.
Okay, that's why I was confused. I didn't know where it was. I'm looking under the stuff with his
Yeah.
Here it is here. I got
budget and then,
Town hall office.
Yeah, I couldn't find it before myself.
outside town hall.
Everybody got some problem.
I wasn't trying to, I just didn't know where it was. I'm not blaming you. I just had no idea where it was.
Right here.
I don't know where it is in your book either.
It's buried in town hall. We got it.
We got it.
Thank you for helping the handicap.
Yeah, moving down through land use, I don't know if you have any questions on the land use. Permit link is going up a little bit.
That's offset with the revenue, though, so.
Right.
Whatever
And
we
revenue's
budget for
not in
expense, we budget for revenue because it's really just a pass-through.
Right, exactly. Building, we are seeing a significant savings over what we paid in '25 with the contract with Stafford. We went to our full-time permanent employee.
Excuse me, I did have a
building
question on
inspector.
land use. I just want to mention that, as you know, Todd, I met with Joan Formeister and Drew Kukuska from the from the Conservation Commission earlier this week extensively. And they went through a lot of questions they had and concerns. And I think the bottom line is, and they had extensive concerns, and they mentioned about it, violations and enforcement and need for more attention and more depth in the land use office and lots of other things. Like the bottom line is, certainly, and they agree with me, is that if we could get a part-time planner, which is something that the town has not had for, 10 or 15 years.
At least 12.
2009.
I've been here 12, and we haven't had one since.
2009.
09 is when Patrice left.
16 years.
This one here, this is.
Anyway, and this is something that we've talked about before. We had
I just wanted
both
to run it.
Joan Formeister and Drew Kukuska in here speaking to us about this earlier, later.
This is land use.
earlier in the
Okay,
last
all right.
Now, is this?
Yeah, it doesn't.
And it
no,
seems to
that's what-
me that
That's what's throwing me.
even though it's not budgeted as of yet, possibly we could consider
Land use.
maybe some kind of using some kind of consultancy, like this Pike.
Jen is researching that, and to her credit, she stepped up a lot on the planner duties. She's been doing classes, and she's the liaison for planning and now planning and zoning. She was as a zoning enforcement officer. She's taken up a lot of those duties. We've discussed this. She does agree that we could use more staff. A lot of it, like enforcement, when people call, if there's only one person in the office, we're not going. And we've had criticism that we don't act fast enough. Part of that is government, it's process. Part of it is we don't have a lot of staffing.
Yeah,
and
you have very few
Well,
people.
I think we got to be a little careful and say we don't have a lot of staffing, because, I mean, I think we're actually overstaffed in that department.
Yeah, I disagree.
Well, I mean, we had a 20-hour building official previously, we got along with, right? Now we have a 35-hour building official, right?
Yeah, yep.
So, I mean, we actually added 15 hours in just the last
True,
year.
and his focus is building.
It's just building. It doesn't do any planning, doesn't do any zoning enforcement.
But I'm saying, as far as enforcement, violations.
For building,
the
yeah.
other land use, I'm not talking about, I'm talking
We're
about.
trying to respond to the public when they come in
Yeah.
and they complain and they say, hey, such and such is happening, get out there right away. Well,
Yeah,
the
well,
answer
that's
is,
impractical.
we don't have people that can do that, and we have to wait a day or two.
Well, a day or two is fine. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, but that's where we've been getting complaints, though, Bill. And there's been a lot of complaints from people.
They want it right away. Now, whether that's reasonable or not,
People that
I
complain
don't know.
don't think a day or two is
I mean, if it's an emergency, you call 911, right? I mean,
Well,
short of that.
not-
I mean,
not in
if somebody's got
summers.
a
You
kid
call
in
911
the
in
front
summers.
yard, I think a day or two is perfectly reasonable, right? I mean, somebody has
agree.
Christmas lights on too bright.
It's all
Just
relative.
call you guys directly.
I agree,
But
but
the bottom line, though, is that much of their concern, I think, could be addressed significantly if we had some planning some planning, technical planning.
and
No, I agree with
we're going to come back with a proposal. We don't have it yet.
Okay.
And we're looking at that, whether that's bringing in a consultant on 10 hours a week or 5, or other than these one-offs, to have an on-call consultant, let's say, or do we do something where we try to partner with a town with a part-time planner for a couple other towns, or regional something? Don't know. We've got to look at what's out there and what
and what's
could we
available,
do. Ultimately it comes down to budget and what's reasonable.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't have those answers right now.
Yeah, and I explained to them that, this idea of planning element within the department, land use department, is great. It's just we've got to be able to pay for it.
Right.
There are a lot of competing interests for paying for it. And it's not just you.
Well, we haven't got to DPW yet, so.
Well, I think.
And getting out in the field is difficult when Mary's not here, but
Yes.
definitely when she's in the office. I mean, people are.
It's better when she's in the
Of course,
office, yeah.
yeah, of course.
And do we look at that position and recategorize it and do something with it? That's all on the table. We
I
just
think
don't have
you
the
need staff.
information
To
yet.
be honest, Todd, I do think you need staff.
But we have to define what the need is and why the need is, what it'll cost, and what would their duties be.
Right.
What is our expectation?
Yeah,
if we do it?
exactly.
We don't have that. We haven't gained that
in a
out.
chair because it's a warm
Yeah.
body in a chair.
What we cover that we currently can't cover.
Right.
because
Or
exactly right.
where's our pain points? Where are we getting criticized the most
Right.
from? What aren't we doing that people say we're not
Yeah, I
doing?
got a
If we're
list
not
of
doing it, I mean, that's the results
Well, the
of
thing
that.
is,
I've gotten
I
some
just happen to be
earphones, too.
seeing a lot of that in the paper and stuff.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of criticisms, and then also Jen Roy has been sending us stuff, and in those things that she's been sending us, there's been a lot of complaints.
Well, that's a handful of people.
I know, I'm just telling you that.
It's
that's-
actually like 3 people that have.
Right, but I'm just telling you that that's the stuff that I've been seeing.
Yeah.
And that I don't know how prevalent that is,
It's not. It's a small
And
percentage.
we just have some fairly visible, though, commercial projects
Yeah.
that draw a lot of attention. And we
Yes.
just need to make sure that we're able to convince people that we got our hands on this and we understand what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys are trying
Talk
hard.
to them.
You only have so many people to do all the work.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, everything's processed too, which a lot of people don't understand. It's not. We're not 911. When you call because there's a drainage issue, we don't send out the police to stop it. I mean,
I
just
hear you.
we document it, and there's a whole process that has to go through boards, and people don't like that answer oftentimes.
Right.
They want it done now, and that's just not how the government's set up.
Yeah.
Well, it's not how any government's set up.
Right.
I mean, it's not any town.
Nor would you want it to be. I mean, it's just,
Unless it was a water main break, you don't.
if it's a true emergency, yes, but these generally aren't. There's
I
some
mean, you know
stormwater
the
runoff.
history, though. I've done a pretty deep dive into land use with the data, with comparing other workloads for other towns and things. I mean, we're overstaffed. So, I mean, Town of Summers, full-time sanitarian, unheard of. Full-time building official, we could probably share with another town. Zoning enforcement, probably. I think it's just more getting the resources, like programmed the right way, the right systems, the right processes, the right people, like you talk about with the planner. I think that's more the work than adding more bodies.
And all of that has to come into the, where are we, where do we want to go, where are we deficient, what do we want everybody to be doing? So we have to come up with a plan that's coherent, is reasonable.
So in
and then
other
we have
words,
to look
once we identify what we need, then we can look at whether we can create a part-time planner with another community possibly.
If we need to, or do we need to
whether bring in
recategorize a job? Or,
consultants to do the work
Right.
on an hourly basis during the week, or whatever. So,
So I have
it's
one
good to see
request
that
for you guys
the
also.
overall budget has gone down 13.44%.
Oh, for land use. Well,
Land use. That's all we're talking about right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I don't.
Land use is one little grouping here, and land use as a whole is this entire page.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
But also we have, if we go down, let me go down to the bottom, I do have a request too.
yeah, I was going to say,
Which
I
is
do have
part of
one
land
request
use.
for you guys.
Under WPCA was the sanitarian salary. That harkens back to when Steve was here and he
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
sanitarian / WPCA administrator. I would like to split that out because now it's the health director's salary. It doesn't make any sense to be a part of the WPCA.
No, I agree with that.
Also, I'd like
give
to
him-
eliminate the
I guess
WPCA.
So I think we need a
altogether.
motion to
We don't
eliminate
fund-
Right.
We don't
Water
fund
Pollution
the
Control
WPCA.
Authority.
Well, hang on.
And create, so I would like to eliminate the WPCA as a department. They have their own
Change
budget
it to,
and create a new
They're
department within
not
the
part of
within
the
the
general
grouping
fund.
codes
I
of
don't know,
land
Brian.
use.
I think what he gave you stuff, so I don't know.
It's all there, Bob.
I'm
I
not
gave
clear
it all
what-
to you.
what-
Those three
Right at the
sheets.
bottom here. You're talking about the
Bottom,
bottom.
right?
Yeah.
The 3 hole
WPCA,
punch.
Yeah, the 3-hole punch sheet that I just gave you 15, 20 minutes
very-
ago.
it's very confusing.
This is the one here?
So this is public health and this is
Third page.
Okay, all right, got
All
it.
the way at the bottom where it says WPCA.
Yeah. So,
it's just a sort of a misnomer. We need to fix
right,
that.
so years
Brian's
ago,
motion is to fix
right,
that.
so years ago, Steve Jacobs used to use us as a
Okay.
Okay.
funding
I
source for
just didn't know where it
WPCA.
That's okay.
I'm glad we don't do that
I
anymore.
wasn't clear. You put this on my desk, but you didn't tell me what it was about.
So I would like to eliminate the WPCA as a department
Right.
and create a new department within the same numerical grouping code so that it's easily sortable in land
What would you
use
call it?
of public health.
Okay. I'm
Do we
fine
have a
with that.
second for that?
I'll make that motion to change
Eliminate.
WPCA. Yeah, eliminate WPCA grouping code and create a public health one under land use as recommended by the CFO.
Yeah, that makes more
I'll
sense.
second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I think the bottom line with this, though, and I don't think we're going to be ready to solve it tonight, but I think we got to take it on as part of the budget. What's land use going to look like? Is TOG going to continue to remain? I mean, because we're planning for.
Yeah, we've
We
got
may make some changes, yeah, but
But I'm
we've got to
saying,
get it all
like,
together.
that should be part of probably our budget discussion, too. Is he
Yeah.
going to remain? What are we doing with the
Yeah,
other
we'll
positions?
know about that next month.
Yeah, I think that's important.
At the end of
Read
it,
that
yeah,
with the-
next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to impact potentially the budget. I mean, I don't think it's going to be neutral to fiscal.
I
I
agree.
think there may be a
Yeah.
fiscal change.
There will be, yeah, there will be. What that looks like, yeah, we've got to flesh all that out and come back
So
to
you
it.
got land use under town hall then?
That's a good point, though. That's something that we definitely
Yeah, okay, I
have
just
to
didn't
look
know where.
Yeah, it's part of the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we're not going to want to make changes to a budget we just adopted.
Right.
Right.
at. Yeah, we'll be able
Want
to
to do it
look at
before
the
you
information
submit it.
in the latter part of
I was
next
just
month.
looking for something that said land use.
I know.
You threw me a curve.
Public Works.
Let's start with fire protection, because that's the first one.
Okay.
I'll stick this.
So after our discussion many months ago, trying to get our hands around fire protection, I have a better understanding of it for sure. I don't like it.
I got
I don't like what's happening.
None of us like it.
You did the audit.
Yes, we did. Came up with some interesting information.
here.
In these, under fire protection, I put in the line items that we pay. A lot of this actually used to be paid out of the fire department some years ago, and we transferred everything into
Todd,
DPW.
can you scroll it over to, you're missing the, scroll the columns over, so the other way. There you go.
You're on the-
So you can see, yeah, the yellow's the proposed.
Well, it's the same as the 27 request, or 27 budget. All three of the last three columns are all identical.
If you want to come in Monday and organize it.
Yeah, maybe
I was looking at the wrong line. My bad.
Just, or the next time I come to a meeting, we'll sit down and do it.
So I had sent out a memo as well,
The
which kind of,
drivers?
pardon?
The budget drivers?
No, this memo, the memo about the fire protection.
Right.
Yeah, this one here, Summers Fire Protection?
Yes.
Yeah, I got that one.
After we went through and looked at everything, talked to Hazardville Water and Connecticut Water to get our head around exactly what's going on as far as fire hydrants and fire protection in Summers. Connecticut Water has, 98 hydrants in town. They service, they own and service completely. For that, we pay a per hydrant fee, and we also pay a line fee. Hazardville Water, it's split. Hazardville Water owns and services 27 hydrants in the Rye Hill section of Summers that they own and service. Summers owns 58 hydrants in the Somersville area of Summers that I didn't know we owned them. And they haven't been serviced in quite a while. I've asked for Hazardville to service them, flush them, and what have you. Also in my conversations, I did ask, so if you look at the second page of the memo, Connecticut Water increased their fire protection costs about $30,000 year over year. And I asked for a reason why, they never responded.
That's not regulated by PURA?
It is. So it was over a couple years. It was allowed. I mean, the bad news is Hazardville has asked for a 72% rate hike.
Yeah.
And it's sitting with PURA right now. I don't know where that's going to go, and I didn't include that in this proposed budget because I can't imagine they'll allow it. But then again, it'll be something, but I have no idea what they're going to do.
Money.
But that second page also breaks down the year over year for each line item. We've got the different fire protection, fire hydrants, and then the buildings, fire protection. Things like hydrant repairs. If it's our hydrant, we have to fix it. We have one right now. We've got Hinckley doing.
What is this Ellington Acres Fire Protection?
It's now owned by Connecticut Water. It's actually the water line that comes up in front of DPW from Ellington. That used to be a water company that Connecticut Water bought out. They bill it as Ellington Acres to us. They never changed any of that. So that's why we have these different water lines that are called different
It's
things.
them, but they got a different name for it.
Yeah, well, they bought that company out.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
it's like Eversource or CLMP. Well,
I
if you look at
understand.
legally, it's CLMP, but Eversource owns everything. So it's the same company. It's just the
Yeah,
billing agency
I
hasn't
understand.
changed.
Yeah, well, loser source, don't get into it.
Well, we're getting to the.
I'm sorry.
So all of this to say, the fire protection last year was a surprise, and this year I balanced it out. Where it's going from what are adopted 231 to 289 or 290 for proposed next year. That's on our trend rate with what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
It's a significant increase. Yeah.
Oh, it's just.
But you've been paying this, it just, we
Yes.
were over budget, right? I talked to Brian
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah,
Now
no, we were
figured out
paying
why.
it. We got surprised last year at the year end,
We had to move like $50,000
Yeah.
in there to balance it last year.
which started triggering all of this investigation and trying to figure out where the hell,
Yep.
where did
This
this
is
come from?
basically the cost of water then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's not just fire protection.
believe me, I pay to the Connecticut Rip-Off Company called the water company.
Well, it's
And, it just, every time I look at my bills, especially the one that comes after I've watered my lawn in the summer, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
and they're a utility regulated by PURA, but this was allowed, and
Right.
they had a
You gotta
30-some-odd
pay it.
percent increase.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever it got
but the
there.
thing is, it's like, I have no way to, I can't even put a well into my property. Because
Right.
I was told by the town sanitarian, when I moved there, that there was so much, antifreeze and oil dumped in the property, over the years because it was a gravel pit, that I can never put a well in, because they said the ground is so polluted.
So you built a house on a gravel pit?
Yeah, I didn't build. They built it. The entire neighborhood is built on a former gravel pit.
Huh?
Yeah,
Interesting.
and if you go to the ponds that we have, those were built those were dug out by the, company that
Yeah.
was digging
Yep.
gravel.
They're probably
And,
irrigation ponds to begin with.
If you look in the middle of where I lived there, they filled all that in, because there used to be a big hole.
Yeah.
When I first moved there was a huge hole between, pond.
Well, I mean, the good news today, it's a lot more regulated than it used to be, but,
Yeah.
So I guess, Todd, just a couple of questions on this. Number one, nice work. I looked at your memo. I think it explains everything pretty well. I think it's bad news that it cost this much money, but I think it's good news. I remember 30 years ago what the fire hydrant map used to look like in town. And it's pretty good news for our residents or our fire department to have as many hydrants now as we do, even though it's costing us considerable amount of money. The map never looked like this before.
yeah, we do have, and that is true, we do have quite a deal.
Now, I think
Fire
this map, how
protection.
old is this map you gave us, this GIS map with the hydrants?
I think it was done several years ago.
Because there's like a hydrant in front of my street now, it's not on this map.
Going up, the new pump station and the hydrants going up to Stafford are not on there.
Okay, so that's, because there's a lot of
There's some
hydrants
more there,
along
yeah.
190 there too.
Yeah, if you go from where the 190 symbol is, right on Main Street, to Stafford, there's hydrants all the way up there.
But when you look at our town, the only area really not covered is
The
the
mountains.
north, up 83.
But thankfully, honestly, there's less density up there too, so
True.
it's,
Yeah.
But the brown is the actual dry
You guys
hydrants.
have to bring a truck
Or
of water, right?
over by the prisons, that's their own water
Water
system,
trucks.
but the rest of the brown ones are dry
didn't know how
hydrants that
many,
we
but-
have for the mountains, so.
Good.
That's where that fire.
Well, thank you for that. I don't think we really have a choice there, so.
Well, that's getting to utilities too, but that's all of this.
Can we write a letter to oppose it? Can we write a letter?
I don't,
You know,
yeah,
just,
I could look into, the Connecticut water, it is what it is now. The Hazardville one, they're getting a lot of pushback on it.
Well, we have our lobbyists too. This is some of the work they do, right?
Yeah.
Writing a letter
Yeah,
to.
we've already made that one remark about the 72% increase.
Yeah.
It was put in the paper.
Yeah, we did oppose it.
Just to oppose it and
We
just
did.
the impact on the local.
We contributed to a
Todd,
survey of the towns affected and gave our comments.
Todd, in regards to the vehicle fuel and building, like the heating oil and so forth for the buildings, now that we have that locked in as of yesterday,
Yeah, it's about 3% less.
I was gonna say, are any of those numbers?
No, because
Can we adjust them at all?
it's a 3% less than we're paying, but we don't buy the same gallons every year. There's a fluctuation there, variability. How cold is the winter? How much gas are we using? Diesel? There's a
Gotta
5%.
balance out.
So,
I didn't know if it was a
good news is if we use less and it's 3% less, we'll have some money left over at the end of the year. I don't want
buy out the
to try to
contract
zero.
now.
What's that?
You don't buy out the contract at the end
we
until
have
you
to buy it
tanks. Usually you do.
Yeah, usually we have to buy it out, but it's at a better rate than if we had, eaten all of that gallon. It's been very favorable,
Okay.
really. Building maintenance, I've got a lot of line items in here that breaks it all down, what we're spending it on. The big one in building maintenance, frankly, has been HVAC, has been killing us, a lot of HVAC repairs. The sprinkler system at the firehouse has been very challenging. We're going to look at upgrading that whole thing.
These are all the details.
That's
Yeah.
all lines. Got it. It's a new system this year, so the sheets look a little bit different than the
It all
previous
looks
year.
different.
So-
And even the data, now that we have it built, moving forward, we'll have historical data, but we don't have any granular historical data.
This is the board training tonight for the first budget. Yeah, so we know for all the future.
Yeah, building maintenance, last year what we spent, it was just crushing us, versus last year we spent just under 200,000. This year we're in, we adopted a 160 budget. I'm projecting 203, based on historical trends and contracts, elevators, pressure vessels. None of these things are huge on their own, but they do add up. And like I said, the HVAC has been really getting us in all of the buildings, library here, firehouse in particular, even DPW, we had the repairs. The buildings are old. DPW and firehouse are 25 years old now. I think like garage doors,
I hear you.
we're replacing all of the openers because they're way over their lifespan. We aren't looking for it, but that's kind of where we're at.
The security system.
What's the
came-
lifespan of a fire station?
Of a fire station? Well, it could be indefinitely. Well, let me put it another way. To build a new one is probably $50 million, maybe 25.
Well, the biggest problem with that fire department, and this came out years ago, was the fact that when they built it,
Yeah.
they had no clerk of the works. And I
There was
could
a
not-
lot of issues with the
And
fire.
I could not believe that any town in their right mind would build a building without a clerk of the works. You know, before I came to this town, I lived in Ellington. And one of the things that was really important was when we, like when we were redoing the public library in Ellington, was we had a clerk of the works there.
Yeah.
And this guy was just, you couldn't believe how good he was. And he was just always checking out everything. And anytime anything came up that was out of the ordinary, he alerted the people
Yeah.
on our committee what was happening. And then they built this thing, and every time I listened to the fire chiefs go through and explain about all the problems with that building, they're monumental. And it's just like, you guys built a building and you approved this thing and you paid for it, and
Well,
you never held anybody accountable for the garbage.
Well, the good news on that is, you always learn, so we as the town have learned, look at
Well, I
the
know.
HVAC
Well, that's
committee
what I'm
and
saying.
what we're
The
doing
next
with the
time we build
schools.
something,
Well, we're using professionals now.
I hope so. I hope so, because I keep hearing continuously about how bad the fire department is and how much work needs to be done on it. And that's all.
It's a lot better than it was. It's going to be a constant, every
We
day,
had one person in
lots of
particular
things.
that exaggerated for a little while, and he's no longer with us.
Yes,
so.
yes, so, we learn and we grow and we move on. We just try to get better.
I'm not trying to make
improvements.
I'm not
Right.
blaming you. I'm just blaming
Yeah.
the people who
Yeah.
were on that.
No, there's a lot of things that should have been done differently, could have been done different. They weren't. Here we are.
Because I
So
know
we're dealing
some of
with
the
it.
people who were on that committee, and they just let it go.
Well,
Let's go
So
on.
Todd, my question under that with buildings is security systems and cameras.
Yep.
So were you part of the conversation we had with the library about that?
oh, yeah, no, I'm looking into that and I just,
So I mean, is that line item accurate, or are we going to be able to get that down a lot? Because that's a lot of money, $17,000 security systems
That's our licenses
yeah,
for.
cameras.
for the various cameras that we
It's
have.
also the alarms,
We pay
the,
recurring fees on those.
oh, yeah, annual licenses.
It's in the cloud.
Our fire alarms, our burglar alarms, and burglar alarms are $7,000 a year. The fire alarms are, I think, within that as well. And then the security cameras for all the buildings that
I
we
think we're
have.
trying to break away from that with the school
The
board.
Sonatrol, yeah, and that's Sonatrol's in here too, yeah, so we're working on that. I'm just holding that level. Could it be, it'll certainly be less, most likely be less, but we've got to set up a burglar alarm because that's part of Sonatrol at the library, and also cameras. I had a walkthrough with the burglar alarm company Monday with Joanne, waiting on a quote from them. I'm getting a quote for cameras. I'll have that information. And
I mean, it should be about $50 a month, so,
per
building,
for what?
burglar, fire, that's what I pay.
Well, we pay $6,800 a year for burglar and fire for most of the town buildings.
For all of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the library was paying like $6,800.
Yeah,
for
the library is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they're paying.
But it's all together. It's all burglar and cameras are library, which is probably most of it.
Because the board got a package deal years ago that was way worse than.
Well, there was some emotional stuff going on, and we had a break-in and different director at the time, so.
Okay.
Again, we live and learn.
Thank you, Todd.
Elevators is the next one, which pisses me off all the time, but there's not much I can do about it, because it's Otis, and they're not the greatest to deal with. Yeah, the rest of it, I don't have any questions.
So
on that.
utilities is electric?
Well, utilities is next, let me minimize
Oh, sorry.
this.
Utilities is.
No, electric is electrical repairs, Cat 5 switches.
No, I mean, utilities, I mean, that's just we don't gas here, we're not paying propane or anything, right? We use
Right, well, utilities are heating oil, electricity, water for the buildings,
Okay.
which is under this municipal facilities line item. What I did on this one is I put all the buildings' utilities into each line item, so over time, we can have a trend line for each building and what energy they're eating.
It's helpful.
That's very good.
So do we have a fixed contract for our electric?
Yeah, it's a 3-year contract, I think we're in the second year.
Second year.
For supply, now that's another one,
Yeah, the delivery, they keep increasing it.
Supply, well, supply went up, what, 35%? We were paying 7.5 cents, which was great.
Yeah, nobody is anymore.
We're paying 10.7 cents per kilowatt, which isn't terrible,
No, it's
honestly.
not.
But it's also the distribution, which is the delivery, and the public benefit charge, that's
What do we
half
put
or
for an
more.
escalator on that? Did you put an escalator on it? Or?
No, I did trend lines, and, well, electricity is also another one of those. Every building uses a little bit different of a year, and what's the trend line? I did increase everything, I think 5% on the distribution,
Okay.
yes.
Still 5%. is what
Yeah,
it is.
and we have another year on the supply, so that's fixed.
It's fine.
Yeah, and heating oil, and that's all, well, we just signed a contract today that's about 3% less than what we're paying.
Did we save money if we turn off the lights at Town Hall? I'm serious.
Yes,
A lot of
but
lights are left on. I know it's when I'm over the building.
Yeah.
not a lot. Well, we've looked at Town Hall like 4
Every
times
bit counts.
to redo the lighting, but the payback isn't there. And they're not giving away the money they used to give away for doing the Energy Advantage programs. They used to do 60%, now it's 20, unfortunately. Yeah, so utilities, yeah, that's gone up quite significantly. Streetlights, I don't know why that happened.
I don't know when that happened either. They didn't like you, kicked you out.
Unexpired meetings. So
Well, you've got it, so let's keep going. Yeah, streetlights a little, that one's been fairly stable, that's at a different rate. Regular salaries, the increase there is the pay raises that were
Salary survey.
effective January
So no
1st.
new positions. There's no.
No, these are just the pay raises of
And
existing
obviously,
staff,
we-
both part-time and regular salaries.
One of the primary motivators of that salary survey was your department, so.
Yes, and department, the guy sent out that letter today to thank everyone
saw that.
for that.
Very nice, thank you. I see that.
I haven't checked yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I emailed it, it was on my desk when I got back this afternoon, and
I'm in
all
budget
of the
myself, so I've been.
all of the staffs, they did this on their own, I didn't know anything about it. It was sitting on my desk, and they had all signed it.
That's great.
Letter to the board and to Brian, and saying thank you.
It was very nice.
Overtime, I kicked up a little bit, because winters, they haven't been necessarily hard, but we seem to have more, look at December, we had 12 events in December, we had to go out and salt as well. And most of overtime is really a function of winter operations. Health services are up a little bit, like everything, it's contract. Supplies also. Uniforms are pretty steady, we added about $500 to that, because they're up as well. A little ticks here. Training, that's gone up. UConn actually raised their rates for all of our training. But to be honest, they hadn't raised it in 15 years, so I don't blame them necessarily. Stormwater went up a little bit. That's our stormwater monitoring that we're required to do. Equipment maintenance, this is actually the repairs and maintenance on our fleet. That, last year was a killer year. We spent $174,000. Actually, a big driver on that was about $30,000 for one truck that we had to
I would
spend.
say we had one big one.
Yeah.
Block trucks.
This year, knock on wood, we've been a lot better, so I just bumped that up over trend to 145 from, we budgeted 135 in the year we're in. I did that because frankly, and I've made this comment before, the vehicles we buy are heavily computerized. Everything nowadays is. We have to go to the dealer for a lot of this stuff because they are the only ones that can plug into it. So the whole right to repair thing that's still ongoing with, the manufacturers basically don't want anybody touching anything. They want to charge you for it. We do a lot. We have our own scan tools, and our mechanic is very adept at making a lot of repairs. We do our own routine maintenance.
Tires, brakes.
Well, we just did a transmission rebuild and, oil pans and things like that, but when you get into the electronic side, there's different tiers. He can get to tier 2, but anything above that, you've got to get a dealer tech in, because the data won't talk to us. And there's a lot of stupid, the emissions controls are killing me on this equipment. It's a $35 sensor, but it costs $2,000 to remove the tank to get to it. It drives me crazy, but it's kind of the world we live in. Vehicle fuel is, well, I bumped that up a little bit. That trend line, I'm trying to think, last year we actually did pretty good, you know?
It's more of a rounding function.
Yeah, it's a rounding function, you know. Portable toilets, that's been pretty successful, and we've trended around the 12.5, so that's what I put that for the around town. Equipment maintenance at the parks, that's pretty stable. Recreational maintenance at the parks is pretty stable. Transfer station, this is the revenue side. That's kind of a silver lining here. Yeah, this is revenue. Because we've gone up on our fees.
I don't see that. Do we have the revenue?
No, I didn't give you guys the revenue.
Oh,
That was actually one of my questions.
But the expenses have gone up about 6 or 7%.
right. Our contract is around 6% a year. I don't know if I can get this back up. Let's see. So you can see the revenue.
Can you run the revenue branch? Give it to us when we'll have a chance. We raised the fees on the permits.
Right, we're going up again.
Yeah, I'm just curious as
Yeah,
to
this
kind of
is
what
the
that
last
looks
year.
like.
This is the last year we're going up
Agreed.
to 80
Yeah.
as of April 1st.
So this time next year will be,
Oh, the revenue should be,
Yeah,
yeah. Because we still sell about
should we
2,200
increase it or
permits a
not?
year.
yeah.
Is it now 60?
Oh, is it 65?
65 now, it's going up to 80.
Yeah, it's going up to 80 April 1.
Yeah, no, I remember making it.
So how are you doing on the price of fuel? We're giving out the national.
We just signed that contract. We're saving about 3% on where we locked in on heating oil, diesel, and gas is a little bit, I think gas is 4% less than last year.
What was the actual price for the gas?
218 plus the tax, so 237 total.
With tax, yeah, but 218 what you contract
237,
on.
okay.
yeah.
237 after tax.
Yeah, revenue is actually looking decent all across the board. Even the food waste bags, and that was all Christina developing that pilot program of
that going?
composting. Good. Still selling them. It's slow. It's not huge money, but it's a start. Also, the state is talking about, we just started the cylinder program where you can bring your small propane cylinders and butyl gas cylinders back for free. We have a section that now is a part of the extended producer responsibility, just like mattress, paint care, white goods, e-waste. It's another, the state is also looking at doing tires soon, so I expect that to get off the ground in the next year. So if that happens, and it seems like it's going to, tires will be another one we'll be doing, which is all a benefit to the residents. It doesn't cost them anything to dispose of these items. Right now, we do charge for tires because we have to pay for them.
Right.
But if the CPR gets going, which it seems like it's going to, that'll be another benefit to the residents that,
Interesting.
yeah. I mean, it's all part of, they'll add a $5 fee when you buy a tire probably because it's all pay for all this stuff. But it feels good when you bring it back and it's free.
You're going to pay for it, yeah. Great.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, going down into the landfill operating, that's steady, held that steady, as well as the test well monitoring, that contract's the same. Waste disposal, that is our contracted to get rid of all of the recycling, MSW, and bulky waste. And that's, I think that, I bumped it up a little bit and then looked at the trend line. We've done really well the last 3-4 years, even with contract, because part of it is all tied to the CPI. So the year we're in right now, we budgeted 728. We're trending down from that. So I'm proposing 722. It's a little bit of savings, but, take it where we
But
can
10
get it.
years ago, that was 200,000.
Oh, yeah, no. To be fair, they held us harmless for a long time. It couldn't stay like that forever.
How many more years do we have on that agreement? It was a 5-year.
That was 5 years.
3 years.
3, I think
This
we're
is
in
the
now.
third
So
year of that.
Yeah,
we got 2
signed it.
more.
Yeah, the board signed it. Okay.
I don't, but even then, it's not going to go down.
No, I don't expect it to go down.
So you got $303,000 increase total
Oh, total budget, yeah.
for public works. So I mean,
Yeah.
a third of a mil for public works.
Yeah,
I mean,
the drivers are here, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, it's staggering. That's why I did this.
You did a good job. It's not your fault. I don't even really know
Well,
what you thought.
to be honest with you, when I was going through it, I was just like,
Just not why.
it can't be, but I couldn't.
Understand.
I mean, we could cut $20,000 or $30,000 out of this.
Yeah,
I think
and that's
if we go
probably
any deeper
okay,
than that,
but
it's
I
gonna
mean,
have a big impact.
It's going to have an impact on service.
20
Oh,
or
yeah.
30,000 is not going to make
No.
a difference.
Yeah.
And it's all these fixed costs of, utilities, the building
Utilities
repairs,
are the biggest
waste
I think it's a
disposal.
very good budget, Tom.
Thank you. I mean,
Only
it is what it is. It's-
Only 12,975, that's...
That's about, you're looking at land use.
Is that-
No, it's a
That's land,
$300,000
no.
increase.
It's a $300,000 increase for public works.
Yeah, which is about a third of a mill, not
Yeah.
including the Board of Education, not
Right,
including all
right.
the other town departments,
Well, and the
debt
fixed rate we're
service,
looking at.
fire
last year.
department.
Yeah,
We might have
Town
to cut
hall.
Matthews-
that's why I go
cut
first.
Matthews' budget to make up.
But I think the point is that I think it's going to be an extremely tough year.
I
With
agree.
no fund balance
Yeah, I agree.
available. I mean, we're not going to be doing a 3 mil tax increase.
No.
So
That's for sure.
I know Board of Ed's not going to be zero. So
Nope.
Yeah, no, it's, overall, it's an 8.82% increase between land use and public works. It's public works. is what it is.
I think you've done your part to kind of try and keep the cost down, but a lot of these things are just
Uncontrollable.
uncontrolled. And you've absorbed a lot of things like utilities, like
Yeah.
fire protection, like
And that is
things
true.
in your
Public
budget.
Works is now all of the town facilities.
Right.
We
Yes,
pay
you're
all the-
supporting all of our buildings,
Right.
and those are where we're seeing all the cost increases.
Right, yes.
So that's why I don't want to hear the other departments saying their budget's low, because you've actually been taking it all on.
Well, look, it's $100,000 less. You're not paying it anymore.
That's what I'm saying. The other departments aren't paying their salary
Right.
increases because the Board of Selectmen does it,
Right,
and they're not
right.
paying for their
This is the one-
facilities because
Right.
you do
Okay,
it.
there's
So
exactly
it's pretty easy to keep your budget down when those two are taken out.
So,
But you have all those problems.
That's the whole...
Okay, is there anything else?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the presentation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I'm just trying
Hold on.
to... say-
hold please.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to organize.
Yeah, we'll organize you.
Because this is just
Yeah.
not anything easy to follow.
Is there other options
Keep
for
everything in
outputs?
the pocket here,
Where you
and
sent
then
to go?
if you want to come in a
Yeah,
little early next Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm not 100% sold on like this format yet. I mean, maybe it's because it's new, but
It put it out into like a huge data file. I actually manipulated some of the data because it ended up with like 14 columns. I was like, I don't need all of this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you're seeing is after I've already kind of manipulated it a little bit as well.
no, it's okay. I just, yeah.
Brian, for next year, I do have a request. Can you open it up like in August or something? 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a lot more I'd like to do with it, but it's a huge time slot to
Oh yeah,
get all of this granular data.
yeah. No, I think going forward, I mean, we can open it July 1 and just people can start putting in whenever. Just we got to have submissions done by a certain date.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I see no problem with opening it.
Okay, next thing on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the December 18, 2025.
So we're going to talk about the fire department?
No.
Is that was discussion and action on the...
Yeah, we're going to have a board. We've got a board that's going to...
No, we did the MOU. We already did that. That was the first item.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did, that was as much as we'll go into detail on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just had to approve it. Yeah. That's all.
Oh, well, the reason why is because I'm asking is because there's two people here that are being
Well, that's,
thought of
No,
to
we're going
replace.
to bring that up either next week or a week after.
Okay, I didn't know the discussion about replacing the chief.
Yeah, the board's going to review that and make a recommendation.
Okay, I was just missing on that, because we got the
Yeah.
information, but we didn't do that.
Yeah, the applications don't even close until tomorrow, so
Right.
we can't do anything until the closing
Okay, so we
date.
just got to hold on to this.
that's for your
Just
information.
informational.
Got it. All right, thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of the December 18th, 2025 regular meeting as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those support say aye.
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 Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
7:08.